This man won his Chula Vista City Council seat by 2 votes, and now his victory has him headed to court. Tonight, John McCann is speaking out.
And he is not the only one being sued. This case also involves a county employee with a turbulent past. Team 10 investigator Allison Ash is the first with McCann's side of the story. Allison?
Yeah, the lawsuit was filed weeks ago, but it wasn't until this week that John McCann was served, and the normally mild-mannered politician is now lashing out.
They're gaming the system and they're cherry-picking the votes to go for my opponent.
The they John McCann is talking about are the people behind this lawsuit, which claims 16 votes that should have been counted in the Chula Vista City Council race were not.
We all have a right to have our vote counted. That's what the whole process is about.
Poll worker Aurora Clark, a naturalized citizen, is the face behind the lawsuit filed by John Moot. He's a former city councilman who won his seat by just 11 points and who admits he voted for McCann's opponent, Steve Padilla, who also happens to be a business partner of Moot's.
This isn't a partisan issue. If there's one thing I think every registered voter can agree on, and that if they cast a ballot on election day, that vote should be counted.
My opponent and his business partner, I think, will do almost anything to be able to profit from the city, and that includes a lawsuit.
Do you think this is a frivolous lawsuit?
I believe it is.
McCann claims there are actually more than 300 uncounted votes and that Moot knows the 16 mentioned in his lawsuit are votes for Padilla.
I think it's not just political, but I think it's for profit.
McCann says Moot and Padilla both are lobbyists for Inland Industries, which has a stake in plans to develop the city's waterfront. Moot claims that has nothing to do with his lawsuit, which claims the votes weren't counted because of address discrepancies.
These voters were completely disenfranchised.
Disenfranchised by this man, says Moot. He's Michael Vu, San Diego's registrar of voters, the same Michael Vu who was at the center of an election firestorm in the 2004 presidential race in Ohio. 2 people who worked for him were convicted for their mishandling of a vote recount.
I think it's too early to know, if you'll excuse the pun, whether this is deja vu all over again.
Because he's named in the lawsuit, Vu declined comment for this story, but told Team 10 when he can talk, he will.
Someone's sitting on 15, 16 votes that they are not even opened.
And what about Aurora Clark? McCann called her a political operative, selected as the face of a lawsuit that he claims should never have been filed.
And as to that political operative comment, Aurora Clark told me if it affects my community, I get involved. Her case goes to court on Monday. If you'd like to read the lawsuit or check out the election vote statistics for that race, just go to 10news.com. I'm Team 10 investigator Allison Ash.